Right, hello everyone and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. Right, some news coming out and I found really interesting from a few newspapers dotted around Europe that the Champions League is going to go yet another format change, this time allegedly merging with the Super League to create a UEFA Super Champions League. I don't know. No, officially, the branding is going to be called still the UEFA Champions League, but apparently from 2027, the league phase will remain the same, 36 teams. However, the top 18, according to UEFA rankings, will only play other teams in the top 18 in the UEFA rankings. And teams in the bottom 18 will only play teams in the bottom 18 in the UEFA rankings. Still with me? Good. Right, this will be broadcast on Netflix, allegedly. Now, UEFA did recently change its broadcasting rights in order to make it possible that you could bid on individual matches. So, for example, we've seen Netflix move into the sports industry recently, but with one-off events that they think can keep the ticker going. For example, Canelo Crawford being one. The argument is that this may be another one of these things where they're going to allow companies like Netflix, Apple, whoever else, similar to the way that Amazon have done, to bid on individual games in order to get the games on their streaming platforms. Allegedly, it is to keep the Super League teams happy because people like Florentino Perez and Andrea Agnelli are still all for this. So I'm not actually sure if Juventus are still top 18. Overall, I think it was inevitable. I think we already had a Super League. This is a Super League, the Champions League currently. You know, this league format was done in order to get more of the so-called super clubs playing each other. This would just be an inevitable step. And I think I speak for a lot of football fans, especially fans of probably non-Big Six clubs, but clubs all around. It's wrong. It's really wrong. Where there used to be the fairy tale element, I feel like people like Florentino Perez and even Ceferin, who it made me laugh with the UEFA draw at the start of the season when he was always trying to act normal. It was very that GCSE drama piece. He was always trying to make himself out to be normal with Zlatan and whatever else. Don't know if anyone's seen it. If you haven't, it's very weird. But it was inevitable. And it's summing up everything that's wrong with football at the moment. You know, I'm subscribed to different outlets and they seem to just be covering Big Six. It's relentless, just coverage of Big Six, top European leagues. No one's interested in La Liga unless it's Barcelona or Real Madrid. No one's interested in Bundesliga unless it's Bayern. No one's interested in France unless it's PSG. No one's interested, well, Italy I am, but not a lot of other people are. It's just wrong. And I think this will be made possible. Now listen, the whole cheaper broadcast thing is better if they do say that it's going to be for Netflix and they do put it on Netflix, because let's face it, as a sports fan in this country, certainly the UK, it is a ridiculous amount to pay if you want to pay and watch everything like I do. And then we moan and complain and say, oh, well, people are going to dodgy Fire Sticks. Well, yeah, of course they are, because I don't want to spend £200, £300 a year, if not more, on sports subscriptions. That's not counting your pay-per-view events, if you, for example, like myself, a boxing fan. So you've got all this going on. So I'm in favour of that. I'm just not in favour of this. And I think as well, one thing that used to make the Champions League special, and still does to an extent, is the element of it's not fixed. You don't know who could play anyone. And actually, when then these big clubs meet, these super teams meet, we actually savour them more. And I know they're not interested in what people like myself think. They're interested in developing markets like the Far East, like the Middle East and other countries as well, Africa and North America especially. They want to break those markets. That's why things like the Club World Cup are happening. But it's just a real shame, in my opinion, that it's going to take an absolute fairy tale. And you're essentially going to have a Europa League within the Champions League. But actually, that's not the point. The point is that these upsets can happen. One of my favourite football teams, without a doubt, in fact, two of my favourite football teams that have played the game in recent years have been the Ajax team under Ten Hag and the Monaco team that had Mbappe in when he first broke onto the scene. Now, under this new jurisdiction, would they actually be in this top 18? No. But we're gonna force them out. It's just created an even more dominance of the teams at the top, and that's not what football is about. My own club, Nottingham Forest, won a Champions League, won two European Cups, not a Champions League, won 2 European Cups 2 seasons after being down in Div 1. or what was Division 2, the second tier of English football. Celtic, and I know we'll never see another story like the Lisbon Lions. We'll never see another story like Forest. We'll never see another even Steaua Bucharest. There's countless of the teams that I can name that have gone and won a Champions League in shocking fashion. The Ajax team in the 90s. But for me, it's so isolated and so just narrow-minded. It's this focus of North America, Far East, Middle East, let's get those markets. We don't care about what actually European fans care about, and it's a European competition. We are moving to a Super League, and I know it's that classic meme, but I am falling out of love with the game. You know, Forest are in the Premier League, I'm falling out of love with that, the Premier League. And I think this Super League would just be the final nail in the coffin. And it wouldn't surprise me if this goes ahead. 2027 is rumoured when it would start the 27-28 season. Because of the change in broadcast rights, because of everything else, we would have this happen. But there'll be some who are happy with it. So, there you go. It's not the working man's game anymore, is it? So actually, probably my opinion will be in one ear and out the other. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to drop the Instagram in the description, so please give us a follow on there. Please like and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Have a great day. Thank you very much.